Good afternoon, everyone. It's Chris from Crafty Creations by CV. I'm a guest designer today on Unique in the Creeks YouTube and Facebook channel. Today we're going to be doing a scarecrow on the modified dress board that I came up with. So I'm just going to say hi to some people as they come in. I'm getting used to being on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time here. So I see, is it Cher from Michigan? Hi, Cher. Let's see who else coming in. Hope everybody's having a good day. Here come some more. Say hi when you come in, guys. I'll try to be good this time. I try to put in the comments the description for all the supplies that you guys will need, okay? And I did put some alternatives in there because not all the supplies are available right now because some I had gotten last year. So I did put alternates in there for you, okay? So let me switch to the overhead camera because we got a bunch of people on, and we'll get right into it. All right, so let me just switch over. Hold on one second. And we'll go overhead, and this way you guys will be able to get a better view. All right, so here is what we're going to be making today. Oh, here comes all the comments. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Lucille, Suzanne. Hi, Cynthia. Oh, Roxanne from New Mexico. Hi, how are you? So this is the Scarecrow girl wreath, I guess we could call it. I wanted to try something different. So basically what I've done is I have bought Laurie's triangle boards, and I had created a dress design. My original design was the wedding dress, okay? So these are Unique in the Creek boards, okay? All I did was I had an engineer cut them to what my designs were. So after I did the wedding dress, I wanted to come up with, you know, some different ideas to be able to do a dress with. So I came up with the scarecrow. So we're going to be using this modified board. And what I did is I already preloaded all the zip ties here, so we can go through that. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. So this bottom row here, and you'll be able to tell because all the rows are still numbered, okay? So on row 10, you're going to be filling all the holes with zip ties. On row 9, you're going to be doing all the holes except this middle. Okay, row 8, if you can see, you're going to do 3, skip, center, skip, and then 3. In this row here, row 7 is a little bit different. So what you're going to be doing is you're not going to be putting a zip tie through this hole. You're kind of going across it, okay? Because we're going to be putting 2 petals in that one zip tie. So you're going to go from this second hole in to the outer of the board. You're going to do the next set of regular holes. You're going to skip. You're going to do the center. You're going to skip. You're going to do the regular holes, and then you're going to do the same thing on this right side. Okay, and I will also post a template for you guys as well, okay, after we do the live. And then on row 6, you're going to be doing all the holes again, and you're just putting a zip tie in or a pipe cleaner, whatever your preference is. And then we are on row 5. So I make sure, yep, row 5. So we're going to do 2 sets here. 1 and 2, you're going to skip the middle, and then sets here. Row 4, you're going to do all sets of holes. Row 3, you're going to do just the left set of holes and the right set of holes, nothing in the middle. And we don't need anything up top here right now, okay? What we're going to be doing is before we put these top pieces on, we're going to put a little bling rope up here as part of our hanger, okay? And that's the good thing about these boards too, is it has an integrated hanger, so you can bling this out, you can put jute rope, you can add any type of embellishment you want up here, and you could use that, Okay, so let me show you what supplies we're going to use and the petal folds. It's pretty simple folds we're going to use. Okay, so I'm just going to put this aside for the moment. So we're going to be using couple different types of mesh here. So I have a plaid poly burlap. I have a moss green faux jute fabric mesh. I have a horizontal wide stripe orange. It's like that Halloween orange. I have a natural faux jute fabric mesh. And then I have a navy blue poly burlap. Okay. So for the bottom part of the dress that's going to go down here, we're going to be doing just a simple fold. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take a couple colors here and just to show you because all the bottom ones are the same. So you're going to be cutting your mesh into squares. So it's depending on what type of fabric you're using, you're going to do 10 by 10 or 10.5 by 10.5. Okay. And you're going to put your seamed edges in the top left and the bottom right. You're going to take your tip and you're going to put it to the middle. You're going to take your bottom and bring it up to the middle. Okay. Then you're going to take this bottom part again, fold it to the middle, this top part and fold it to the middle. Okay. And I'm just giving it a little stretch as we do it here. So this is what it's going to look like. And then what you're going to do is just scrunch up the middle. And we're just going to kind of turn it to the left here. Okay. And just kind of try to make sure your points kind of match up. And then I just kind of give it a little stretch. And you'll have a little nub here, which will be about 1 inch. And then you're going to take an elastic band or a zip tie, whichever your preference is. And you're going to make your petal like that. So when we go to put these on the board, we're going to be placing them. You're going to hear me say side up or side down. So when I say side up, it means the seam sides that are here are going to be facing up. Or if I put them and I'm saying seam down, that means that there's no seams showing up on the top. Okay. And when we lay them out, I'll go through each one. And like I said, I have a template to show you. It just helps it lay nicer for your finished product. So again, I'm just going to show that fold real quick. Very simple fold. So this is the faux jute fabric. So this is a 10.5 by 10.5. Okay. So we're going to take the top, fold it to the middle, the bottom, fold it to the middle, fold it up again, and then fold it down. The nice thing about this, if you want to make them skinnier, if you want to make them wider, you can do however you want or try a different petal. You can do any type of petal probably. I just use this one because it just reminds me and flows nicely like a dress. Okay. All right. So let's just put our elastic on there. Okay. And I'm just going to put that one aside. I have my big pile over here. Now for the top portion, okay, so you can see here we have the blue. This is going to be the navy blue poly burlap. We're going to cut it into our square. And these are going to be kind of like mini Dean Michael petals. So for this one, you're going to take your top point, bring it down all the way to the bottom. Okay. I'm just going to kind of flatten it out a little bit. You're going to take this right side and you're going to fold it over to the left. Okay. So it's kind of like we're starting that Star Trek petal. All right. Just like that. And I'm going to get a little zip tie for this one, little 4-inch zip ties. You're going to turn it so the point's facing the left. And then what you're going to do is you want to just find the middle point. So you're just going to kind of give it a little pull and then squeeze the middle here. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to do 2 little scrunches in from the top and 2 little scrunches in from the bottom. So that's what it's going to look like. And then I just use, because it's a little bit thicker, I just tend to use the zip tie. It's easier for me with my hands. And you're just going to zip tie that. Okay. And then we're going to clip the zip tie and we're going to cut these off because we don't need these. Okay. And these are going to be your top petals. All right. So for the counts, you are going to have, this is a little template of showing you the arrows up and down, how we're going to do it. So if somebody wants to do a screenshot later on, we're going to be doing 11 of these plaids. Okay. We're going to be doing 9 of these orange ones. We're going to be doing 11 of this green fabric. We're going to be doing 10 of the blue poly burlap, okay, with that little mini Dean Michael. And then we're going to be doing 9 of the beige. Okay, so those are your counts for your mesh. The next set of supplies you're going to have is from the Dollar Tree, or if you want to use the regular raffia, they have Dollar Tree has these little Hawaiian skirts. I buy a bunch of them and I use them for all my scarecrows and whatnot. Basically what I did is I just kind of folded them down and then put little elastics on them, and we're going to add those to parts of the dress. So I counted out 18 of these little ones. And the thing that's nice about these is when you pull them off, they're kind of already knotted up top, so you can kind of count as you go. So I only used one set, and what I did was just kind of fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And then I put my little elastic, okay, and then I just clipped the edges. Okay, so I got my little thing here. So I did 18 of those. You can use regular raffia. Like I said, I just use this. It's easier to grab. And then for embellishments, we do have our blush bling rope, and that's also on Unique in the Creek. So we're going to use that. And then just any florals that you might have. Florals and greenery, we're going to add those to the skirt part to make it look really cute. So pretty much, except the raffia part and florals, you can get everything on Unique in the Creek site except for the board. The board is on my website only, okay, because it is a modified board from Laurie's triangle board, okay. All right, so now we're going to get to placement. So here we go. It is starting. All right. So I have my little cheat sheet over here. So we're going to start the bottom left, okay? And I'm going to take one of the beige ones, and then I'm going to take a piece of hay and just kind of lay it on top. You can make these as long or as short as you want, okay? You can add as much of this. It doesn't show that much down the bottom, but I didn't want that to take away from the colors, you know, of the mesh. So we're just going to put that in here. And you do want to wood burn all of your mesh so that you have less frays, especially with this type of fold. Okay. So I'm going to do that there. I'm going to just kind of take out all my little hay pieces and dump them out here. There we go. All right, next color, let's see, let's do a green. Okay, and this was with your seams facing down. This is going to be with our seams facing up. Okay. And I'm not going to put a hay in this one because I didn't want it to be too overly crazy with the hay. Okay, and our next one, we're going to do plaid, and we're going to do seam side down. So here's our seams, we're putting those down. And then the next one's going to be an orange with the seam side up, and I'm going to add a piece of hay to this one too. And like I said, you could put hay in every single one if you want to. You can make the hay longer. You don't have to put the hay part in. I just kind of did it like this, where it's just adding a touch of it, but not overly crazy. And then that's basically the pattern I'm going to kind of use here. Now we need, our next one's orange, so we're going to need a beige one next. Here's our beige. And this was our seam side up, so next one is our seam side down. And just going to do this. And you'll notice as you go along, it sticks out this way, but as you put them in, it's going to like flatten these and stick them closer together. And now I'm going to do a green. We're going to do seam side up. Just like that. And then we're going to do a plaid with this down, seam down, okay? And then we'll be adding some hay again. And our next one. So now we're going to do an orange with the seam side up. And I'm going to add some hay. Hay or raffia, however we want to call it here. Okay, and then we're going to do another beige, and this is going to be seam side down. And then our last one, nope, two more, sorry. We're going to do a green with the seams up. Oops. Put it around. Oops. I don't know how I did that. Hold on here. Got it around that other one by accident. Oops. There we go. That was weird. Okay, and then our last one is going to be, I ended up doing another, it looks like I did another beige so that it would match over here. And this is going to be down. So whatever you start with over here, I tend to end up over here with the same, okay? Just so it looks symmetric when you're looking at it color-wise, and also with the way it's either flipped up or down, okay? And then we stick a piece of hay in here. So sometimes what I do is I kind of lay everything out and then kind of move things around based on like after I take the picture and whatnot to see if it looks right. So I'm just going to take my zip tie gun and just clip all these zip ties. You want to zip as you go because you're going to be laying other mesh over top of it. Let's see. Karen, which petal do you need to see again? Because I can definitely do that. Just let me know which petal you want to see, if it's the Dean Michael one or if it's just the dress fold one. Let me get my little mouse here in case. Okay. Put that over there just in case. Just let me know. The Dean Michael one, Karen? Okay, so let me show you that. I have an extra piece of mesh here. So all you're going to do is you have your 10 by 10, okay? You're going to take your seamed edges here, up top left and lower right. You're going to take your top point. You're going to bring it all the way to your bottom point. Okay, so you have an upside down triangle. You're going to take your right side and you're going to fold it to the left. Okay, like that. You're going to turn it so your point is on your left-hand side, and you're just going to put your finger on the tip there. And you're just going to pinch your middle. Okay, so you're going to pinch your middle. You just keep that pinch, take your fingers, and you're going to just do 2 swipes into the middle from the top and 2 swipes from the bottom. So it's going to look like that. And you can do a zip tie or an elastic. I'm going to do an elastic on this one here. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to clip all this off because you don't need it. Okay, and Teresa, you need to see the dress fold. All right, let me see. I'm sure I have another piece of mesh here that we could use real quick. All right, don't mind the colors. Let me show you this other fold. So you're gonna have, I'm just using a spare piece here. You're gonna have your square again, okay? You're gonna turn it, edges here and here that are the factory. For the dress petal, you're gonna take this top, you're gonna fold it to the middle, the point to the middle, about halfway there. You're gonna take your bottom point and you're gonna do it to the middle as well. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Then you're going to take this bottom part again and you're just folding it up again to the middle. Okay, just like that. I'll move my hand out of the way. And then you're going to take this part and you're going to fold it to the middle again. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Then all you're going to do is you're going to pinch up the middle here. Okay, so you're just going to pinch it and then you're just turning it so both points will be on your left-hand side. And then you could just give it a little tug just to make sure that they're somewhat even. And then you just squeeze this top part. You're going to have about a 1-inch nub. Okay. And then you're just going to put your elastic on that. And that's going to be the same petal fold for every single color that you're doing for the bottom. Okay. It's just a matter of putting it this way versus this way and back and forth. Okay. That's all you're going to do for that. Hopefully that helped. So it's really just those 2 petal folds, you guys, that we're doing for this. So it's pretty easy. The prep work is probably the worst part. And like I said, you do want to wood burn your mesh. Okay. It's not so much for the poly burlap for this Dean Michael because you're covering all the edges anyways, but definitely for the bottom part of the dress. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back to row 9 now. And again, we're starting on the left-hand side. I always just turn my board because it's easier to zip tie, but we're going to turn this way. Okay, so now what I'm going to use is a plaid. And this one was seam side down. So this next row up, I'm going to do seam side up. Okay, and I'm going to add a piece of hay. Use my little clippers here. Okay. And then our next one's going to be orange. And this is going to be down. And like I said, I have that template that'll show you the arrows up and down. Now we're going to do a beige. And the seams are going to be up, as well as I'm going to put a piece of raffia hay in there like that. Oh, good, Teresa. I'm glad that did. I'm getting better at looking at the comments as I'm going here. Otherwise, I would have missed that. And Karen, I hope that helped you too. Okay, so we're at the beige. Our next one is going to be green, and we're going to be putting this seam down. And like I said, these are not hard to make, and you can use your imagination, and make anything. Like I also have an elf girl that I've made. I've made a snowman girl, a snow girl. So any theme that I can kind of think of, I'm making it into a little, like a dress. So I have my wedding dress. I have this one. I'm making like bridesmaids dresses, communion dresses, little girl princess dresses. So there's endless possibilities and I can't wait. I've sold a bunch of boards already, so I can't wait to see people's creations. All right, so we did the green. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of hay in this middle one here. Okay, so it's not a piece of mesh, it's just a piece of hay. And I probably did this after the fact just because I wanted some symmetry probably. So you don't have to put one in this one if you don't want to, but I have it on my cheat sheet, so I feel like I should do it so I don't mess myself up as I'm teaching this here. And like I said, it's just, it looks like I just put like a piece of hay in this one. So we'll just do it for ha-has. All right. So the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a green facing down. So you notice that in most of the other ones that I was doing up, down, up, down, up, down. There's going to be certain spots like this one where I'm putting the two next to each other down, because the way it lays, it just lays a little bit flatter in this part of the dress, to give it that central portion. So it's not kind of wonky where they're both facing kind of, you know, going a different direction or whatnot. It just laid nicer that way. So that's why I did that. And then the next one's going to be a beige. Okay. With seams up. And I'm going to add another piece of hay. Okay, so you can kind of see our pattern here. We've got the beige on this side, 2 green, a beige. So now we're going to do our orange and our plaid. Okay, and this orange is going to be facing down. Okay. Hi, Suzanne. And then we have our plaid, which will be facing up. And I'm going to add some hay to it. Okay. So as you can see, you see like little bits of the raffia here, but if you want it longer, you can make all those pieces longer. However you want it to look. As I always say, make it your own. This is the second time I'm making this, so I'm sure as I make more of them, I'll probably tweak it and, try different things with it. But this is what I did based off that very first design I did. Okay, so there's that. So now we're going to be going up to row 8. Okay, so on row 8, we're going to start with a green, and we're going to do, so this was down, up. Our next row, on row 8, we're going to start our first one down, and I'm going to add a piece of hay. I call it hay. I know it's raffia, guys. It's just easier to say hay. 1 syllable versus 2, I guess. All right, then we're going to do a plaid. And this is going to be seam up. And as you can see, it goes pretty quick. It's really more so the prep of the petals, and then placing them is pretty easy. And then we're going to do an orange, and this is going to be seam down. And then we're going to do a beige with the seam up, and I'm going to add some hay to it. Just like that. And then we're going to do, here's our orange again. Orange is going to be down. This is on row 8, guys, and we're just going left to right, filling in those zip ties. So it's really easy if you prep and put all your zip ties in advance. And then I'm going to do a plaid with the seams up. Okay, and then our last one's going to be the green with the seam side down, and I'm going to add a piece of the hay to it. Hi, Josh. Is it Joyce? Oh, Joyce and Terry. Hi, guys. Okay. And we have that. I'm going to clip all of our zip ties. So that was row 8. And you can use any colors you want to. I just like the plaid or that style for the fall and scarecrow because it just reminds me of the plaid shirts that you generally see on the scarecrows. And I actually made a scarecrow boy just like the top part on the shirt board. So she's the little girlfriend to match. All right, so row 7. This is where we have the 2 petals that we're going to stick in this first on the left here. So this is where we put the longer zip tie there. So we went from the second one to the outer. And for this one, we are going to put an orange, and I'm going to do a beige, it looks like. And so I'm going to be doing, these are both going to go in the same direction. So I'm going to do my orange and then my beige next to each other like this. Okay. And these are going to go in this zip tie here. Okay, so facing up, orange and then beige. Okay, there's that. And then next to it, we're going to do a green with the seam side down, and I'm going to add some hay to that. And then in this middle one, I'm going to be doing a plaid with the seams up. And then we're going to be doing a green down. And I'm going to add a piece of the hay again here. Okay, and then our last one, we're going to put those 2 petals in again on the right. So we're going to have our beige and our orange. Okay, so we're going to follow this pattern that we did over here. We want the orange on the outside. So we're going to be doing this way. Okay. And these are facing the seams up, so we know we want to do seams up on this side. And that just keeps your symmetry going across. Just like that. Okay. And you could fluff this all up once we get everything on there. You don't have to worry about that at the moment, because sometimes the more you play with the mesh, you're going to end up putting little frays and stuff on there, and it'll drive you nuts. All right, so now this is going to be our last row here of our bottom part of our dress. All right, so we're going to be doing plaid, and we're going to be doing down, seam down, and I'm going to add some hay here. And then we're going to do a green with the side up. We're going to be doing a plaid, seams down. And it looks like for this one I did hay in every other one this time. Probably because I wanted to have a little bit more right under the bodice part of the top. And then we're going to do an orange. This is going to be down again, okay? So we have our plaid that was down. We're doing orange down, and then we're going to do another plaid down. So these 3 in the middle here are all going to be facing down. And again, that just helps it the way it lays, okay? And then I'm going to put some hay in this plaid one here. Just like that. Okay. So you can see like this one kind of pulled out a little bit. So at the very end, we're just going to snip that. Or you could take your wood burner and just kind of touch up all your little edges. But I'm not going to bother pulling it now, because then if I hit it again, it's probably going to fray again. So we're just going to leave that for now. Okay. And then we're going to do a green seams up. And the funny thing is, I ran out. I literally did not have any more of this plaid. So this is going to drive me nuts until I can get more of this in. So just for the tutorial, it's a beige on the end here with a piece of hay in it. But this really should be a plaid because there's no way that's going to drive me absolutely insane when I look at it. So I'm just doing this for tutorial purposes. I'm putting the beige in there, but please know this one on the end should be a plaid like this one. Okay, my OCD is going crazy right now. So I'm just going to clip these. But I think I bought this mesh last year and I cannot find it anywhere. So I may just afterwards just have to tweak that last row and change things around a little bit, just so that the pattern matches. Okay, so that is what the bottom part of our dress looks like. So you can see it's like nice and full. And like I said, we can play around with these after and really, you know, put things where we want to move them. So now we're going to work on this top part. Okay. So for this bottom part here, this first row, which is row 5, okay, instead of worrying about going just left from right, we're going to place them in a certain pattern so that they kind of overlap and look right. So what we're going to do is this second zip tie in from the left. Okay, so if we're looking at it this way, we're not doing that first one on the left. We're doing the next one in. Okay. And we're going to place one of our petals. Now with this, you're going to have an open fold end and then your, you know, corner, not corner, but your folded end here where there's not an opening. So we want these to go in the same direction. Okay, so we're going to put that in here. And again, this is on row 5, the second one in. And then we're just going to take another one. And it's just going to go in the same direction. So whichever way you put your opening, just face them in the same direction. And then we're doing the one right next to it. Okay, so your 2 outer ones are not filled yet. I'm just getting a little bit of that hay out there. Okay, so just like that. I'm just going to clip these. Okay. So now we're going to do the 2 outer ones. Now with this kind of reminds me of like that hip area. So we want to face these so that the openings are going inward. So they're both going to face inward on this. Okay. So I'm going to put this one here. And here's our opening here. Okay. Now this one, same thing. I'm going to just turn it upside down. Here it's a little bit easier. And then this is going to go in here like this. So those are both facing inward and it just gives you the shape of the hip area. Just like that. Okay. Clip those. All right. And then we're going to do this next row here. Just going to make sure. So we're going to do this outer one first. So I'm going to start on the left. Okay. Again, I'm putting my folded edges with the opening. Those are facing inward. Okay. And then this time, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to fold it inward as well. So that fold is going to be facing inward. Okay. So this row here, they're going to be facing each other, not the same direction. Okay. Take my zip ties off here. Okay. And then we're going to put one in the middle. Now for this one, I'm just following whichever direction I put this row here, the open fold, that's how I'm putting this one. And that's just going to lay right over top of those two. Just like that. Okay, so I'll show you guys what that looks like. All right, so we're getting there. Okay, so this is what we have. And now we're going to do, before we do this top part, we're going to do our bling rope up top because it's easier to do that without these on. Okay, so basically these are going to be going up here like this, but we want to do our bling rope first. So what I do for this is I add 2 zip ties up here. Okay, I'm just going to put those there like that. All right. And you will have plenty of this to use on other projects. So what I do is I measure out, it's about 12 inches that I need based on what I've done in the past. Okay, so I'm just going to clip that at the 12 inches. And like I said, you'll have the rest of this to use for another project. All right, so what we're going to do, you can use your E6000, you can use hot glue, and then this way, I usually will do like a dab of the E6000 just in case somebody's using this where it's really hot out. I don't want this to fall off on them. But while that's setting, the hot glue is going to kind of keep it in place. So I'm just kind of putting a little hot glue next to it. And I'm going to just put a piece right in here. Okay, just like that. And I'm just kind of pushing it down. And then I'm going to put some more hot glue on this side. And then I'm going to just kind of shape that how I want it and push that down. Like I said, this is where the hot glue is nice because it'll hold it in place while you're working with it until that other glue sets in for you. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit more hot glue on the inner part. And I'm going to make sure that I do the rope so it's through the zip tie because that's going to help hold it in place there, okay? And then what you could do is take a little clip as you go here and just clip that so it holds it all in place, okay? And I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue on this side here. Okay, and I'm just kind of pushing it down. And again, you want to just make sure you have enough length so that you're through that zip tie. But if you measure it at 12 inches, you will be, okay? As I've done several of these with the wedding gowns and everything else. Let's get that glue off. This can drive me nuts. So like I said, if you don't want to like hold it, you can always put a little clip in here and it just kind of helps you hold it in place until the hot glue dries a little bit. And then you just clip this. And you could do anything with this. You know, like I said, you could use jute rope. You could put raffia up here. That's what's nice about the integrated hanger is that you could do anything you kind of really want with it. So when I designed the board for the wedding gowns, I really wanted to make it, my vision was that it reminded me of the neckline. So I wanted it to kind of represent a necklace, kind of, you know, coming down. So that's why I kind of wanted to do that. So your bling is done. Like I said, super easy. Bling rope works great, but you could use what, you know, whatever type of embellishment you want for up there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do this part up here. Okay. And we could turn it this way, or we could just do it upside down. It's up to you. It's probably easier because you have all this dress stuff now. All right. So we're going to put one side, the fold is going to go in, and one side, the fold is going to go out. Okay. So I'm going to put this one in here. Okay. And then this one's going to go with the fold out. You could put them both in if you want. You could do it either way. You could do it like that, where they're both going in. Actually, I think I like it both going in better. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn this way. I'm just turning my zip tie around so that the top of the zip tie catches on this zip tie. Let's see if I like that. Yeah. All right. So there we go. I'm just going to do this just so I can take a quick peek to make sure. I'm trying to just make sure that the top, the points are even up here on the same, which they look like they are. Okay. So then you're just going to kind of bring those out a little bit, and we're going to clip that. Just like that. And you can overlap it how you want it. So I'm going to just turn it around just so you can see. I like it this way better. Okay. Don't worry about this because we're going to be adding ribbon to that, and that's going to be covering that. We're going to embellish that too. Okay. So there is the top part. Okay. So like I said, this is so cute because you could do any type of theme you can probably imagine. You could make a little dress out of it. Like I said, I did, if you go onto I think it's on my Facebook page, I have pictures of the ones that I did. And I think on Unique in the Creek, the creators page, I added some pictures of those too. Okay, so now that's done. What we're going to do is embellish the waist now. All right, so you can use any type of ribbon you want. I just happen to have this cute little scarecrow ribbon. So I'm just going to use that. And let me see if I have a measurement here. I don't think I do. So we'll just wrap it around and I can try to give you a measurement. So I'm basically just going to be putting it around the waist twice. So let me do this and then I'll just take a quick measurement for you. So right there. Okay. So it looks like about 19 inches. All right. 19 inches piece of ribbon that you need. All right. So I'll just kind of cut this here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of start it where I kind of glue it to the back of the board here. So kind of right over where this zip tie is, you kind of want your ribbon a little bit over that because we want to make sure that those zip ties are covered. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there so that when we come around this side, so we want to make sure that we're covering our zip ties, and you can give it a little pull. That's why I kind of put the glue there, and you want it to cinch in a little bit anyways because it's the waist, right? So as long as you've covered those zip ties, you're good. Okay. And then what I'll probably do is just put another little dab of glue back here just to kind of hold that in place. And then we're going to wrap again. And this time we want to make sure we're covering the top of the zip ties up here. Okay. And you can, if you want to, you can actually use the bling rope. When I do my wedding gowns, I tend to do the bling rope around here. I just thought for the fall one, I really liked, like the fall colored ribbons and whatnot. Okay. And then all you're going to do is just put some glue on the back here. And you're just going to glue that in place. Just like that. Okay. So you have your ribbon around there. If you didn't want to have to wrap this twice, you can always use like a 2.5 inch ribbon. It just is going to take up more space. So I kind of like the 1.5. It just kind of cinches the waist a little bit better. And you kind of keep your design. Okay. So then what I want to do is I'm going to take some florals and whatnot. And this you can kind of play around with. So I'm going to turn it this way. You could do it on either side. You could do it in the middle. I tend to just kind of add my greenery and whatnot to the side over here, because if you notice, you have a little a little spot to be able to kind of slide some florals in there and glue them. Okay. So I'm just basically gonna add some hot glue here. And I'm going to add some greenery there. And then I'm going to add some kind of coming up this way. So I kind of do some where it's going down. So I'm going to turn this the correct way, because I think that's the easier way to teach it here. All right. So I'm going to kind of do some where it's coming down. I'm going to do some coming up and then kind of out to the side here. Okay. So let me... sorry, I did that off camera. I'm just adding hot glue to this. You can use the E6000, whatever your preference is. And then, like I said, then I'm just kind of sticking this in here so it's more going upward, kind of like that. Okay. So we have the up, we have the down, and now I'm going to have something kind of coming out this way a little bit. And again, I'm just going to add some hot glue. I usually do this when it's up on my wall, so it's a little trickier doing it with it flat. But that I think will look okay. Okay, and it's nice because, like I said, with your hot glue, you're sticking it, and it's sticking nice to your poly burlap. Oh, hi, Jean. How are you? My buddy from Connecticut. All right, and then so I just picked some florals, okay? You don't need a lot because you don't want to, you know, overkill it with the florals, but let's see. So I just took a bunch of little pieces that I had with some fall greenery, and I think I'm going to kind of stick one. And again, I'm going to do one where it's kind of sticking downward. Okay, and I'm just adding a bunch of hot glue. Probably shouldn't do it over the dress while it's dripping. Okay, and I'm going to go right back under there again. Okay, stick that right there, and then I'll probably do one coming up again. Okay, and like I said, these are just various fall florals. I just clipped a bunch of little ones, and then I just put an elastic around them. And I'm going to go right up in here with this one. Just kind of push that down. Let's see. I just want to go kind of like that. And then bring that down a little bit. And you'll have to play with it too, like once you get your florals in there and whatnot. And then I found like these little sunflowers. So I thought maybe it'd be cute to put a couple little sunflowers in there. So same thing. I'm just going to kind of clip these, put some hot glue on them. Just like that. And again, just find where you want to put it in and just add that to it. Just like that. Let's see, I don't know if I would want to add another one. Might be too much. Oh, actually, no. That might not be too bad. I'm going to add a second one there. Like I said, I don't want to be overkill, but I think that'll look cute. All right, let's put this one kind of right in there. There. And then you can kind of tweak it, play around with your florals, shape them how you want it, and you are good to go. So all they have to do is just put it right on their door. You have a beautiful little hanger up here, And you are good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, except for the board, which is on my website, which I put in that first comment. Okay, it's craftycreationsbycv.com. The mesh and everything else, and I think Laurie has some florals and stuff now on her website. There is my affiliate link that's up there. You can save on the boards only, though. I don't think it's on the mesh. But if you wanted to try it on the triangle board, you can. You're just going to have a bigger dress. I did it like this because I had liked the size that I was able to create with this, because I could put it on a table. Like I said, my original design was the wedding gown, so I wanted it to have multi-purpose. You could hang it on a bridal suite door. You could put it on the reception entrance table to your event. You could put it out in the grass on a little wreath stand. So the triangle board was just too big, but you can do it on the triangle board if you want a bigger version, that's all. And I worked with Laurie. She was awesome. She was so supportive. And I was able to get my design together and have the boards done. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope to see you guys soon, and I'll make sure I post a template just so that you have, if you want that for reference, as far as how to put the seams up or down. Let's see. Do you think you could go through every other set of holes on the dress? Let's see, Jean, I'm not sure. So every other. Yeah, you could if you wanted it maybe not to be as bulky. Absolutely. You could do every other. Like I said, you could do with them all facing down too. You could try different ways and see what see what you like. The template, it doesn't come specifically with the board, but I do have the templates, Teresa, on the website, because you could do so many different things with the board. So the wedding dress template is on my website. I'll put this template on the website. So all you have to do is click on it and you'll be able to print it out if you want to. So any of the designs that I make, I will try and get that template on there for you, as well as see if I can get it on here. Or maybe Laurie knows how to do that, because I am so not tech savvy. But yes, there will be some sort of template that you'll be able to use if there's a specific creation that you want to make. And if it's not on there, just let me know and I'll get one up there for you. All right, you guys got me. What more? Any other questions? I won't log off yet. I know this was a lot to take in, probably. You can use any type of mesh. Like I said, I tend to use the poly burlap and fabric. I love the colors of them, and I always usually try to mix the meshes that I use, because I just think it gives more of a texture to your design. Oh, thanks, Beck. Yeah, like I said, make it your own. I love to see, pictures of people when they make stuff using the board. I've had a couple people that sent me their designs that they did for their wedding dresses. So it's awesome. I love seeing it. You're very welcome, Teresa. My pleasure. All right, guys. Well, I am going to head out. I will take a picture of this so that we can post it up there for you guys. And like I said, reach out if you have any questions. My info's on there. And I hope you guys have a good day. And I will see you guys soon, hopefully.